Hello everybody and welcome back once again. My name is Jordan, also known as J-Monster, and joining me again is Admiral Thrawn for the finale. The finale of the three-part series between him and AzkDaDwarf. It's been awesome so far. We've seen factions that we normally never see in tournaments. We've seen like kind of brand new revelations for the meta. It's just all around been a really exciting series. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your strategy going into this and kind of what you were thinking, given that this was like this was it. Who was going to win this tournament came down to this battle.
Sure, yeah. So this was definitely really exciting. At this point, I was definitely really respecting his strategies for being able to play these bizarre picks for armies. And so he picked Dwarves, and I was actually shocked that he picked Dwarves because earlier in the season, we've seen Dwarves basically lose to a lot of factions just because they really have no good answer to heavy cavalry charges. So I figured that given that he picked Dwarves, I could just go with the same old sort of half moon heavy cavalry strat that I've been doing all season, because he had earlier proved it didn't work against high Haradrim heavy cavalry, but against dwarves I think it could still have a chance. So basically, I'm going with the same strat as usual, and you will see how well that works for me.
You even brought some Bandibris archers. Now, was that just leftover money, or
yeah, that was just leftover cash. But I figured archers were a good pick against dwarves because I could take out his archers pretty well with my cavalry. So it's like once he has no archers left, then I could basically shoot him at will. So that was sort of the plan. The plan was kill his archers, get him into close combat, and then just basically rear charge him to death. That was my brilliant evil plan.
You've got a pretty good cavalry selection here. What do you have? At least 2 units of Arnor Knights, probably 1 or 2 units of Knights of Anuminas?
Yeah, well, I think 1 Knight of Anuminas, and some Arnor Knights, and some Arnor Sergeants. I only went for 1 Anuminas Knight because I figured that since he wouldn't have cavalry, I wouldn't need that sort of heavy cavalry staying power, so I could just basically invest more in the charge power and just basically cycle charge.
Now, I get the feeling that I'm going to be very surprised once I see that army come out of the deployment shadow over there.
Yeah, I know. It was... well, I was just surprised that he picked dwarves in the first place. Like, that was a very surprising pick, and it took me off guard. But, yeah, I mean, like, because historically dwarves do pretty badly because they don't really have an answer to rear charges from cavalry. And it's like, so as long as you have a solid heavy infantry line in the middle, then the dwarves generally don't last all that well. But we'll see how well that goes here.
Definitely saw that in the first match I had against, I can't quite remember his name, but I picked High Elves, he picked Dwarves.
Yeah, I saw that too, yeah.
Yeah, heavy cavalry just runs all over them.
Oh, totally, yeah. That was what I was thinking and planning for here.
Okay, so let's speed it up just a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Just up to 2 until we can see his army come out of there. It looks like he's got some stakes in the front, so he's probably got at least 3 units of iron crossbowmen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he brought a fair number of crossbowmen. Right,
there we go. Oh, let's take a look at this army. I'm really excited to see what he's brought. So there is the 1, 2, 3 units of crossbowmen. Of course, he's got his infantry to back them up. He's got dwarven halberdiers, a lot of vault wardens, a lot of spears. Yeah, he definitely seems to favor his pikemen, this player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely does. And that's a good call. Pikemen are really good against infantry in Third Age Total War because they don't really drop their pikes very often, so they don't like get out of formation that well.
It's nothing like Rome 1 where they'll drop them at just any opportunity.
Oh, yeah, totally. And then in the back line here, this is the really scary bit. He's got his dwarves in this heavy shield wall formation. So they're really slow, but they're basically almost impossible to kill with anything.
That's actually, we don't see that very often because it's just such a mobility hit that. But if he's keeping them with the rest of his army, I mean, why not? He's got the armor and the numbers to weather whatever arrow storm you can throw at him. So this is going to be, wow, this is kind of game changing. The amount of heavy infantry that he has.
Well, yeah, I was surprised. I figured there would be at least some cavalry, but nope, just all heavy infantry, and it's all really heavy and really good.
Yeah, super heavy's in the back here, too, so it looks like he's going to do what he did with his Serpent Guard in the last battle and kind of save them as, like, his Triarii.
Yeah, another surprising thing as well in this is that he basically has been, he's putting his pikemen in the front to fight the infantry, and he's putting his swordsmen in the back to fight the cavalry, which is actually a really surprising change-up, but you'll see how that goes pretty soon.
Well, in that shield wall formation, they have such high mass that it actually is a lot harder to kind of throw them around with cavalry. So, yeah, I could see them standing up a little bit better to cavalry charges, at least from the front.
You'll see where things go. Like I gave you that anecdote about the the something is very wrong from World War One. You will see where this shield wall goes with the cavalry.
Oh, I can't wait. I am so
Yeah.
excited. This has just been such a good series.
Now, in the meantime, though, I see that he basically has a lot of slow units and no cavalry, so I'm like, okay, open season for hunting. So I basically send out my cavalry to go start harassing his archers.
Exactly, as would be conventional.
Of course, yeah. So he pulls him back, and I sort of pull back in the same time.
He's really good at that. He's really good at just kind of... It's very fluid. Like, he's got his infantry moving forward to shield their retreat, and then he's able to just pull them back kind of on a dime and then turn them back around.
Yeah, definitely. But even solo, this means I'm getting a lot of good shots off of my archers, and his archers are doing nothing at this point.
Although we've seen in his previous battles that archers are really just there for him as a distraction.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I sort of do something kind of similar in a lot of my battles, but here he loses micro, and I'm able to get a delicious charge off it with my cavalry.
I'm looking at that.
Yeah. And then other cavalry does the same thing. And now they're stuck, and I say, you know what? Let's just send everybody in. Like, send in all the cavalry. It's like, he can't do anything about it.
Send in the cavalry.
Yeah, just send in everyone.
Yeah, you're doing a really good job of... This is something that you did to me in one of our previous battles that really worked out nicely, was that you just kept me so busy with all of these cavalry charges that it's hard to kind of, like, take a look at everything that's going on at once. So that's definitely... You're definitely doing a great job doing that here and getting some easy early kills off on his iron crossbowmen.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't really want to commit his infantry to actually fighting my cavalry because that would involve breaking up his line. So he's basically just sort of sitting back while I basically have my way with his archers. At this point, I was thinking, okay, this battle is going to be an easy win for me, just because it's like, I mean, I'm just like wiping out his archers. And then he even has this unit of dwarf and axemen out here. It's like, nope, they're dead.
Yep, getting hit from two sides at once. Very nicely done.
Yep, totally. Yeah. I'm just like slaughtering this front part of his army, and then meanwhile the archers are of course slaughtering that center part of the army. So it's like I'm like, okay, there's no way that I could possibly ever lose this battle at this point.
I see those axemen of Erebor coming forward.
Yeah.
Wow, just slaughter. His halberdiers got completely surrounded. They're just done.
Oh, totally. I think those were actually axemen, not halberdiers. But like, yeah, definitely. And even the axemen of Erebor, it's like, I mean, now they're not by themselves, and they aren't very good against cavalry, so I'm able to basically come around here and surround these guys now. And it's like every time he feeds a unit in, it's like I just slaughter it.
Yeah, this is definitely not looking good for the dwarf player.
Yeah, not at all. And this early part here is a very favorable series of engagements. Like, you can see, like, I have a couple of dead cav, but he has all these dead dwarves up here in front.
Oh, definitely. All of them just dying in plain sight of his army.
Oh, yeah, totally. So at this point he says, screw it.
Coming in, yeah.
Yeah. At this point he says, screw it, and he just basically runs away. Or starts moving forward with his heavy pikemen, and I run away. Yeah.
Yeah, there's maybe a handful of dead cav there, but just easily 200 dead dwarves.
Not much, yeah. So at this point, I was like, okay, I have killed 25% of his army and lost almost nothing. So it's like, it was looking pretty good.
Yeah, you're definitely thinking that you have it in the bag at this point, but if I've learned anything from these series is that nothing is ever what it seems when the two of you are playing together.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So here
at this point, I'm thinking the same thing, though. It's like, okay, get him in close, and then rear charge him to death, and it's like, that's all I have to do.
Just this general charge. They're just running across all this open ground, and you're just pouring arrow fire into them. The
one thing that you should keep in mind as well, though, here with the arrow fire that should be a warning sign, is that I'm doing very little damage to the actual pikemen. Like, I've got one unit pretty low, but apart from that, I'm doing very little with the archers. It's like, even having so many archers, it's not doing much at all.
Yeah, this one unit is down to 65, but there's still another healthy unit in there.
Oh yeah, no, he's got a lot of heavy infantry left over.
By bringing in your heavy cav.
I'm just like walking the heavy cav around the edges. It's like, I've got so much left, I'm like, okay, just walk around the edge, and then rear charge him, and then that's it.
Let's watch this. What's left of his axemen of Erebor? Looks like they're changing direction kind of mid-charge.
Yeah, they want to get in on those Good-A-Day Knights, because I think the axemen have AP, so it's like, go for the heavily armored unit.
Yeah, definitely not a good fight for them to go into pikemen head-on.
Yeah, definitely. So I wipe out what's left of the archers.
Yeah,
so that was really easy.
Those very brave 12 crossbowmen here standing against your entire cav force.
Totally, yeah.
And he's still got that back line, though. He's got a lot of faith in his heavy infantry that they'll be able to pull off a miracle.
Well, yeah, no, yeah. He basically has this back line of shield wall infantry, and it's like I'm like, okay, they're in shield wall. So what? I can just like a couple charges, they'll collapse. Medieval to Kavanaugh.
That's what you think.
Yeah. So I say, okay, let's charge him. So I charge him.
Nothing. Just solid.
Nothing.
Like running into a brick wall.
Yeah, at this point is when I would say something is very wrong here.
Oh
so
my
basically,
goodness.
Yeah, nothing at all. He kills like a bunch of my cav. I get like I don't think I killed any dwarves on that charge.
Nice flank here off on the Iron Guard, but it's not killing any of them either.
Yeah, none of them are dying. Like none of them. It's crazy.
And yeah, he's just got this set up all over his back line. Let's see how your infantry's doing. Your Arnor men-at-arms are getting slaughtered, but your Dunedain Knights aren't doing too badly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you just can't penetrate that wall of stubborn dwarves. Look at this go. This is crazy.
Yeah, totally. It's nuts.
This is
how am I not just slaughtering them,
I know, this is not at all the engagement that I was expecting during the early stages of the battle. Like, you were really, really aggressive, really in control of the field, and then, yeah, no, this is happening.
Yeah, totally. It's like, I just sort of figured that I could run over them after a couple charges, but nope. Not happening at all. So now I'm starting to panic and reevaluate the strategy.
Oh, wow. Those battle-ready Dunedain are just getting butchered.
Oh, yeah.
Even with rear charges into the backs of those Iron Guard. Holy crap.
Yep. I mean, I'm killing some of his units and all. I mean, he's definitely dying down a bit, but my heavy infantry line is just getting taken out, and it's like there's nothing I can do about it,
Wow, even the Dragon Slayers of Arid Mithrin, they were countercharging your Dunedain, or Knights of Anuminas, and yeah, they didn't take a single shot, or a single dead unit.
Yeah, you can see in this back line here, all this dead cav on my part, and like almost no dead dwarves on his parts.
That is just crazy.
Yeah.
These dwarves are godlike.
Yeah, one thing I should have done is I should have been looking more for openings. Like, there's a couple of openings for rear charges here against like the halbermen and stuff.
Yeah, definitely on your right, or your left flank, rather.
Yeah, totally. But it's like I wasn't really watching enough for that early on.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, it's like, I mean, even against these Dragon Slayers in the back line here, I'm getting these flank charges off on them, and it's like nothing's happening. They aren't dying.
Man, they just refuse to go down.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Let's see how the infantry fight is doing. It looks like you're doing okay on the left. You do have a unit of Dragon Slayers that are surrounded, but they are in turn surrounding your Arnor men-at-arms. Wow, this is just brutal.
Yep. And like and then the Arnor men-at-arms are being slaughtered by the Vault Wardens over here on the right flank, or the left flank, and it's like, yeah, it's not looking good at all at this point.
And the Arnor men-at-arms are actually able to get in pretty close here, and like at least half of his unit is turned around trying to like point menacingly at your cav units that are in their rear.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it looks like you got a unit of Dunedain Rangers out of ammunition here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's like, I mean, at this point in the battle, he's got so much of this healthy, heavy infantry, like these guards of Cause of Doom, that it's like, what am I going to do against that,
Yeah, you don't have any AP. Your cav is just proven to be completely ineffective against them.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's like, if you look at this back line here, this huge line of dead cavalry, and nothing else. That's just my dead cavalry. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. Like, I mean, any dwarves were good against Cav. I didn't know they were this good against Cav. This was just totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I can't really think of much that I actually could have done at this point in the battle to sort of rescue it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because, I mean, he's got this whole back line pretty well covered. Like, I get a couple of good rear charges in, but it's, like, not many, and there's not a lot of room for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I should have, like, after the first one or two charges against his back line, I should have just pulled back the cav and sort of said, okay, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I'm not sure what I would have done with him otherwise, because it's like my infantry is getting slaughtered anyways, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah, there's really no way out of this.
Totally, yeah. I mean, all I can think of is maybe do, like, probably... I should have saved the archers, so I could have shot on the back of those heavy infantry units.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should have saved their ammo. And then I guess if I had like run my army back to like outrun the dwarves and get them out of formation somehow, but it's like, yeah, it would have been really hard.
Yeah, he's just pushing you back all across the line here. It looks like at this point you must realize that.
Yeah, no, at this point I've
no way
lost.
out.
Yeah, there's really there's no happy ending here for me. It's like, yeah, there's just too much heavy infantry, and I have nothing that can actually counter us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, even rear charges, which is the point of bringing that cav in the first place, is just ineffective against this just monstrous blob of dwarven heavy infantry.
Yeah, totally. So I mean, definitely, I'll give kudos. I think we're going to see a new meta next season with a lot of dwarf picks. So I'm just thinking about how people can actually counter those. I mean, like, because really, I can't think of much that could actually take them out. Maybe if you went for like, because really, the only way to take out heavy infantry like that is with cavalry, but cavalry doesn't work against them. So it's like, I guess maybe like a lot of Serpent Guard could do it, but yeah, it's a good question.
Something with a lot of AP. It seems like, well, maybe not Herod, but a really strong rush army might be decent against them.
Maybe Isengard, that could work.
Isengard could potentially work. With Berserkers, I'm pretty sure they could stand toe-to-toe with a lot of his super heavies for a while.
Totally. Berserkers, and also like their crossbowmen are AP, so it's like a lot of crossbowmen that would do really well.
Yeah, but you're right, this is definitely shaking up the meta. I mean, cav charges, like, really strong cav is usually what brings people into the finals. Really good cav micro and things like that, which is, how you beat everybody up until this point. But
yeah, totally. But in this case, this is sort of defeating the whole concept of cavalry as a powerful force.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say probably Isengard is a good counter dwarf pick just because of the AP and the crossbowmen. But even so, it's like that'd be a tough fight.
The only thing I could really see that would work quite nicely against them, maybe if you were using the Sylvan Elves and you were willing to kind of like skirmish them to the point where the dwarves get tired of chasing you, or just hit them until you run out of ammunition, at which point you could use their two-handed axe infantry, might be really useful. They've just got really reliable frontline troops in general, so that could be a potential counterpick to this, but the dwarves just have so many numbers that the elves don't have, so I don't even know how effective that would be.
Yeah, totally. I mean, high elves are okay pick as well, but again, it's like, I mean, like their heavy archers could do damage certainly, but the heavy infantry couldn't do a whole lot. So I guess if you pick high elves, take a lot of smiths of Eregion, which are really good against heavy dwarves, and then like a lot of archers that can maybe do it. But it's like even so, there's not really many good options here.
Yeah, that's not really a cost-effective way of dealing with a lot of these troops who just don't cost nearly as much as the counters that you have to pick for them.
Yeah, I think the surprising thing here actually is the fact that nobody had really picked an army like this before. Like in the tournament. I think part of it's probably that nobody really wanted to put the dwarves into shield wall because it made them so slow. Yeah, and I guess nobody really wanted to like sort of stand up to cap charges like that.
Yeah,
but it's like, yeah.
You'd think that being that slow, they would be so vulnerable to these cavalry charges that you're just throwing at them, but like you're hitting them on the flanks, you're hitting them in the rear, you're hitting them from everywhere that you can, and they're just standing up to it. This is amazing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's very, very impressive. But yeah, so I'd say it's a relief though, because I mean, honestly, it's like if the 30-ish meta never really moved forward, it would have been boring. It's like I think that if I had won this tournament using the same old strategy the whole time through, I would have probably not played the next one because it's like, okay, it's a winning strategy, you just do that.
Yeah,
but at this point, it's actually really exciting now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I honestly can't wait for the next couple of weeks when Arrow manages to get the next tournament up, because I really want to play against this, and I want to see what's going to be effective and what's kind of not as good. So I'm definitely going to try and play some games against AzkDaDwarf in the near future. Yeah,
definitely. Tell me if you ever beat him, because I want to know how.
I've never seen him lose.
Yeah, totally. And like, yeah, that's what comes when you play Timeless multiplayer. It's like, I mean, I've played a fair amount of multiplayer, but not as much as he has. But still.
Let's look at the 80% to 94. You did put up a great fight against him. There's just dead bodies everywhere, but
yeah, I mean, I had a lot of ways of hurting him, but I didn't have any ways of taking out those super heavy shield wall infantry, and just that was enough at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, without artillery, it's really hard to deal with that, but I think that there are potentially some ways. If not, we could even see artillery get put into this.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be
I don't see why artillery is banned at this point. It's like there's not a whole lot of reasons to ban it. apart from just being able to hard counter dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like dwarves have artillery, so I mean, it wouldn't be that much of an OP counter.
And it would, if we added artillery to the game, actually would make things like Momokill actually able to be played, because artillery is a great counter pick to that, especially ballistas with flaming bolts. If they hit one of those Momokill, it's gone.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely be not averse to having artillery play a major role and Momokill play a major role in the next season.
Yeah, that's something that we'll all have to discuss with Arrow at some point. But thank you so much for your time. Those are amazing battles, and I hope I can talk to you again in the future, and maybe we can actually play against each other in a tournament. And maybe this time I'll win, damn it.
Definitely, yeah, that'll be fun. I look forward to it.
All right, take care, man.
All right, take care. Bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.